in a sentence, the thing that will cheer us all up, that's going to be better than where we are now, the thing that's going to actually improve. Because remember that leaving is better than remaining. So what's the bonus here?
What, regarding banking?
Well, regarding what Emmanuel Macron has said to Theresa May about the fact that either we abide by all European rules and the ECJ's jurisdiction,
well, that's not, we're not,
or we whistle.
I mean, the whole point of Brexit is to not have to abide by the rules.
Exactly, which means we won't be able to do any trading with them under the current conditions. So, but I just want to know what the silver lining is, Danny. In a nutshell, what is the thing that's going to be better? Yes.
The country's revenue, the tax receipts. I'm not talking about what people earn, what the banks turn over, and what the banks earn.
Yeah.
Not that relevant to the man in the street.
Right.
What's relevant to the man in the street is the revenue the government receives from it.
Yeah, and that's going to go up, is it?
No, it's not going to go up.
Is it going to stay the same?
No, it will go down.
And how is that better?
It's not better.
So it's worse.
And other sectors will increase.
So what sectors will increase?
Well, we'll be able to trade with other countries, for starters.
Like who? Who can't we trade with now?
North America.
We don't trade with America.
Australia. Pardon?
We don't trade with North America.
We do, but not to the scale we could do.
Right. Why not? What's going to change?
Well, we would probably negotiate a trade deal with other countries, James.
Right. Yes.
You know?
How many trade deals has the European Union got with other countries?
We have a trade deal with other countries through the European Union.
How many?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head, James. But
52, I think. Isn't it?
52.
Yeah. How long did they take to negotiate?
Well, when you're trying to negotiate by committee with 27 countries, it's a while. Because everybody, it's like they can't get a trade deal and haven't done with America proper for 43 years, purely because the Germans don't want the cars.
But Donald Trump has already said that his top priority is a trade deal with the European Union, not with the United Kingdom.
Well, of course, it's a top priority, but which is, of course, because it's...
Which means he wants it more. And Wilbur Ross, his trade secretary, has said that Brexit is a great opportunity for America to hoover up some of the business currently done by Britain.
Look, possibly, but...
It's not possibly, mate. He said it.
No, James, don't twist it. There's no point in twisting it.
What am I twisting, Danny?
Of course, it's been a priority for 43 years to get a trade deal with the United States in the EU, but it's much easier, and it will take possibly another 43 years. But the point is, we can do a trade deal. You can't do a trade deal when 27 people have got vetoes and different agendas on how doing a trade deal.
Canada and Japan just did.
Possibly, but not the trade deal.
Why do you keep saying possibly? Canada and Japan just did trade deals with the European Union, and Donald Trump has said it's his top priority.
It's not free trade. It's not...
You can't have free trade, can you, without also abiding the other freedoms?
You can't have free trade, but their trade deals, as you would know, are clearly not as a trade deal as in being in the EU and dealing with other EU members, are they?
I don't know what that meant. You said not as in being in the EU and dealing with other European Union members.
James, what you've got to understand is...
Tell me.
We couldn't... The trade deal that Canada... not fully aware of it, but because not what I rang about specifically.
What did you ring about specifically, Danny?
It was just about the negativity regarding the financial services.
But you told us it's definitely going to be worse than it is now.
Well, yes, but the revenue to the government isn't 500 billion; it's 30 billion, right?
Yeah. And it's going to go down. But you rang in to complain about or to challenge negativity.
It's not. Yes.
So you're challenging negativity by telling me that things are going to be bad, but maybe not quite as bad as some people think.
If you can't trade or sell, or you lose a client, then you have to create new opportunities and clients. Yeah. And the banking sector is resourceful.
But why would you choose not to be able to trade and sell if you're going to be worse off afterwards?
It's not a question of. It's just a question of the conditions. Really, we know that, you can say for years and years and years that the EU have tried to take financial services that we do as a country away from Europe, from England.
Well, they haven't done a very good job, have they? If we're doing $500 billion worth of euro... You have to listen to what I'm saying before you explain why I'm wrong. If Germany's got 16 billion bucks of this market, and we've got 500 billion. You'll allow me to suggest that this campaign to take it all from us either doesn't exist or hasn't been very successful, Danny.
Well, if we're outside of the EU, which is what Brexit is about, yes, we cannot. You cannot have your cake and eat it. That goes without saying.
Boris Johnson said you could.
Well, it depends on what deal is negotiated by the government.
I've got to go to the news. Just out of interest, were you on Boris Johnson's side of this argument because he's the one who said you can have your cake and eat it, or were you on mine?
Well, it's not. I try to be realist. I think Boris is over optimistic about having your cake and eating it. There's scaremongering from both sides.
There isn't, though, is there anymore? It's not scaremongering to describe things that are happening. It's not scaremongering to describe what the French president has said, is it?
No, it's not scaremongering. No, I mean, he said what he said, but I mean, he's negotiating, James, isn't it? I mean,
except their position hasn't changed in over a year, whereas ours seems to change every week.
I don't think that. Well, yeah, possibly, but not in principle. I think we're just trying to negotiate. I mean, we can't. I mean, how can you know what you hear in the media necessarily, or what people's aspersions are, or what people's suggestions are? Everyone seems to have an opinion, so.
Yeah,
well,
there is. I mean, a multiplicity of opinions, but there is only one set of facts, Danny.
I understand.
We're going to be worse off. It's just you're finding to have a bit of a discussion about how much worse off, and yet you're still persuaded that being worse off is the right course of action. Am I